Hi, I'm Dr. Joseph Marbach. At Georgian Court University, we're committed to educating the public about the importance of higher education and its impact on our communities. That's why we're proud to support the important educational programming produced by the Caucus Educational Corporation.
Recognizing those who make a difference. Next on Caucus, New Jersey.
Funding for this edition of Caucus, New Jersey has been provided by RWJ Barnabas Health, the Fidelco Group, ADP, a comprehensive provider of human resources technology and services, Adler Aphasia Center, helping stroke and brain injury survivors recover their speech, the North Ward Center, Georgian Court University, and by MD Advantage Insurance Company of New Jersey. Promotional support provided by bestofnj.com, covering all NJ has to offer, and by hipnewjersey.com. Live hard, work hard, play hard. You're from New Jersey, and so are we.
Welcome to Caucus. I'm Steve Adubato. Over the last 20 years, the Russell Berrie Foundation has recognized unsung heroes throughout New Jersey who are making a big difference in their communities. Here today in the studio to discuss the different ways that we can all make a difference, we are joined by Angelica Berrie, the president of the Russell Berrie Foundation, Adam Lowy, the founder and executive director of Move for Hunger, Jennifer Papa, founder and executive director of City Green, and finally, Dora Arias, who is founder and executive director of an organization. In English, it is called Healing Together, but it is in Spanish?
Curémonos.
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 That's why I had you do that.
With the accent and the...
Thank you so much. Thank you all for joining us. This is a two-part series, Together We Make Change. Angelica, once again, provide context for those who may not have seen part one. The Berrie Awards, intended over 21 years ago when it started. I've been honored to host the Berrie Awards every year. We just did it actually recently. Some wonderful people were recognized. People recognized for?
Making a difference in their communities, making a difference in the lives of others, and making a difference with one heroic act. Everyday heroes.
Everyday heroes. People are nominated by people who know them, people who respect them.
Community organizations, the media,
all
faith
sorts
groups, yeah.
Right, and by the way, the people, I said this to Angelica when we were doing the event. I actually remember how it started. I'm on the stage and I'm reading one of the descriptions of one of the people who were being honored, and I turned to look at Angelica, and she has her head down like this, and I can't read anymore because I can't keep it together. And we looked at each other and we said, no matter how many people, extraordinary people we recognize, we are stunned by the level of commitment, passion, empathy, and caring, and who you are. By the way, what year did you?
Win the award?
Yes.
I think it was 2013.
And tell everyone the name of your organization again.
It's City Green.
City Green, which does?
It's urban agriculture, so we're creating access to healthy food and beautiful green spaces.
Before you get into describing it, the year you won, the year you were there, the year you were hearing about all the other people who were recognized as well, were you feeling the same thing that I just described, Angelica, and I feel every year?
We spend half the time in tears, yeah. And I love to go back to the award ceremony every year for that reason, because it's so full of hope and it's so inspiring, and it just makes you realize how many good people are out there doing important work.
And that you're not alone.
Not alone, no.
Yeah. Talk about City Green.
City Green is, like I said, we're an urban agriculture organization, so we work with schools, children, senior citizens, people in homeless shelters, and we grow gardens and run educational programs surrounding those things. So we like to believe, or we do believe, that good food should be available to all. So you shouldn't just have to be able to afford to go to a fancy farmer's market to get organic, healthy, farm-fresh local food. So we grow food, we sell it at markets, and we help people grow food.
Why'd you get into this?
People always ask me that, and I, studied.
Oh, I wanted to be the first one to ask you. Why,
it's
seriously?
a funny thing because I studied Spanish and history in college, and this just grew out of my interest in the environment, my interest in healthy food, but also in my belief that like the power of beauty and the power of good health can be transformative in communities. So in like a low-income, blighted area, you have all these vacant lots, you have trash, you have liquor stores, you have chicken places, and to come across a beautiful space where people are coming together and they're empowered to make change themselves in their own neighborhood is really important to me. And I just think it's a powerful way to get a community together.
What's the Vegemobile?
Vegemobile is our latest mobile farm stand. So it's a refrigerated truck. It's we can carry the fresh produce that we grow at our farms all day long without it spoiling, and we go into neighborhoods where people are not getting out to our farm stands or don't have access to transportation or great supermarkets, and we're bringing that food to them. We accept food benefits. We double the value of them. So we're making it affordable, we're making it accessible, bringing the food to people.
Good stuff. Dora, your organization started when, because of what?
From my own personal experience, I was diagnosed with breast cancer 13 years ago, and it was a diagnosis that caught me totally by surprise. I was just going through my routine mammogram, and that's when I was told that something was abnormal. And it was very difficult because I was young. I was 39. I had 2 young girls. And when you hear the word cancer, you think you're going to die. That's the first thing that came to my mind. But going through the process, I realized how lucky I was. I am Latina. I'm originally from Colombia. And I was very lucky because I spoke the language fluently. I had medical insurance. I had great support structures and a great team of doctors. And although it was easy, it was still very hard at the beginning to deal with everything. And in the back of my mind, I always wondered, how do women that are not as fortunate as I am, how do they deal with the diagnosis? How do they get treatment? What happens when they can't communicate with doctors, when they don't have medical insurance? How is it for them? And based on that, my own personal experience and just thinking about the poor, the uninsured, the underserved, the ones without a voice, that's when I decided to establish Curémonos in 2009.
So let me get this straight. You're going through this personal struggle. You have 2 children?
Yes.
And you ask yourself, how can I help other women going through this who may not have the advantages I have?
Correct.
Where did you get the wherewithal and the sense of responsibility and a desire to do that? Where does that come from?
I think passion and knowing what I suffered a lot. Like I said at the beginning, I thought I was going to die.
But that's you. Why do you? That's you. Why not? I'm playing devil's advocate because
Yes.
I am really thinking this. Why not just say, let me take care of myself, and that's it. That's all I have to worry
I
about.
took care of myself, and then I said, I need to do something.
Did you expect to be recognized by the foundation, by the Berrie
Absolutely
Foundation?
not. Actually, it was a surprise.
Did it come out of the blue?
It came out of the blue. I got a letter.
You got it. You didn't even know you were nominated.
I did
Some
not know.
people don't believe that they got something.
They thought it was some sort of somebody scamming me.
I
Right?
thought, no, seriously, I thought it was, I'm sorry.
No, tell
It was
us.
a scam. I thought it was a scam. I honestly thought. I got a letter in the mailbox. You've been nominated. Please call
Yeah.
or send information. And they ask for your social security number.
And many people don't want to call.
Because there's a potential cash prize involved. That we should make that clear.
And to give your
because of social
security
security number. That was my
warning signal.
my red flag.
You're not giving that up.
And I'm like, why? Why are they asking for the social security number? So I called and I went
Wow.
into the website.
Oh, it's very real. By the way, go on the website. Can we put it up, Jackie? Jackie, put it up right now. We'll let people up. By the way, we want people to nominate others. Real quick,
yes.
why do we want people to nominate people?
Because we think that the best scouts for us are people who also are in the same field, who will find people who don't even expect to be recognized, you know?
And by the way, if you get the call, it's likely them. Just check it out. And so it happens.
I called and they reassured me, and then I realized I saw the website. I'm like, okay.
What year did you win?
2015.
Yeah, and real quick before we move on, Shannon, what types of services you provide?
We provide education, support, and advocacy to medically underserved and uninsured women affected by breast cancer. Part of the program, we connect women, uninsured women, or underinsured women to free mammograms. Last year, we facilitated 42 mammograms, free mammograms. And part of the program, they're also receiving cervical cancer screening. So they're getting breast cancer and cervical cancer screening through the state. And one of the ladies was diagnosed with breast cancer. At the age of 47, never had a mammogram, but she went, she was informed of our program. We connected her to get testing, and she was diagnosed. And now we're helping her.
And being diagnosed, particularly early on, is critical.
Oh, early on, yes. Absolutely.
And by the way, when you were there the day, real quick before I moved out, the day you were there for the awards, what was it like for you?
It was just amazing. It was just amazing. Realizing how much kindness and good there is in the world. I was just in awe. I was humbled to be part of that
Pretty
group.
great, right?
It was
with all the
great.
negativity in the world and
Absolutely.
Washington and Trenton and other places, it's pretty cool.
That's my point. With so much negativity that's going on, and to see people doing so much good
Yeah.
for the good of others.
All right, you're up, Adam. Talk to us. Move for Hunger is?
So we're a national nonprofit that mobilizes the moving and relocation industry to reduce food waste and fight hunger. People move, they throw away a ton of stuff, food, clothing, furniture. We happen to focus on the perfectly good, unopened, non-perishables that people leave behind. Moving companies pick them up and bring them to local food banks where they can feed families in need.
How'd you get into it?
My family's owned a moving company here in New Jersey for almost 100 years. My great-grandfather started the company, so like any good child, I worked on a moving truck growing up. Not fun. But you know, I kind of saw firsthand, and my family saw firsthand, just the amount of stuff that people are throwing away, and we just really wanted to do something good. It was always just meant to be a nice thing to do. And in a month, from doing nothing more than asking people, do you want to donate your food, we collected 300 pounds.
300 pounds. By the way, we're looking at great pictures as you're talking about this. 300 pounds. And what's it grown into?
We've now mobilized over 750 moving companies across all 50 states and Canada. We've rescued and delivered over 8 million pounds of food to food banks across the nation, organized hundreds of food drives each year, and we're really just trying to create these sustainable partnerships between local relocation partners and community food banks to make sure that their shelves are always full.
Stay there. Talk partnerships. Big theme. You've been talking about this for years.
Well, you created a partnership with another Making a Difference awardee,
Was that Eric?
Eric Fuchs-Stengel.
Right?
Yep.
This conversation that took place. You're just sitting there talking. He does what he does. He does environmental
Education and
right?
sustainable, teaching people about sustainability.
You doing your thing, and all of a sudden it's like, hey, what can we do together?
Right.
Partnerships.
We really rely on partnerships. We partner with schools, we partner with libraries, we partner with, city governments. I mean, that's how we get access to land, to grow food on, land that's just laying there. I mean, the whole crux of our organization is built on partnerships.
And Dora, did you have a conversation? I was told by our producers you had a conversation with someone at one of the events as well.
Oh, yes, last year. I attended the event last year.
So another winner.
Yes, another winner, Stump the Monster. The winner was there, and I've heard the organization because a lot of the women that we support through Curémonos, they get financial assistance from Stump the Monster. So I went up to him like, we need to work together. We should partner. And last December, another program that we do out of my organization is called Holiday Cheer. And basically what we do is women that are undergoing treatment, they're in active treatment, we provide them with a party, and we give them gift cards. Children get gifts. We give them a food card so they could buy groceries, because we're dealing with women that are very, very poor.
We're looking at pictures of it right now. So you're constantly looking to bring more value, impact,
Absolutely.
Make a bigger difference by partnering with other winners from the Berrie Foundation.
Absolutely. And actually, I was talking to Jennifer, and I have a partnership.
Oh, this is dangerous.
Forced decided at the table.
This is the deal room.
This is where...
Some partnerships originated here while they're waiting for you to interview them, and became
Amazing.
such great collaborations.
Absolutely.
Be the change. Why don't we do this? Let me take a quick break. I promise we come back, and then we'll talk about some things you plan for the future. And Angelica will talk about the foundation and what it's looking to do long term, because like every good foundation organization, it's looking to challenge itself and those that it recognizes, including us. We'll be right back.
To see more Caucus New Jersey with Steve Adubato programs, visit us online at steveadubato.org. If you would like to express an opinion, email us at info@caucusnj.org. Find us on Facebook at facebook.com/Steve Adubato, PhD, and follow us on Twitter at Steve Adubato.
We're talking to 4 leaders who are being the change, making the difference every day. Angelica, pick up your point right now about partnerships, collaborations, sometimes just candid conversation, right? Being open.
It's being around the same water cooler. I think that having that very relaxed...
You mean it's not all on Twitter and Facebook?
No. Listen, we're natural networkers. I think that we have especially people who do good, they know they've got their little antennas out. They know when somebody can possibly help them, and they're not ashamed to ask. And so I think that that kind of openness and generosity, it kind of just connects you to people in a very authentic way.
How has it helped you?
So we were just having a conversation.
You and Angelica?
Yeah, Angelica and I were having this conversation after the
By the way,
awards
who
were
doesn't
over.
she know?
She knows everybody. I mean, this woman literally knows every single person in the state of New Jersey and beyond.
Oh,
so,
well beyond, trust me.
But we're constantly looking to expand our network. We're always trying to bring on more moving and relocation partners. And there was one that I was really trying to get to. They're a pretty big moving company in North Jersey, New York City. She's like, I know them. I'll make you the introduction. Literally 5 minutes later, we're still standing there. She sent the email introduction on her phone. The guy gets back to me. Now they've already collected over 500 pounds of food just because you made that introduction.
And you ready for this? There was some connection to friends in Israel, correct?
They were, the owner of this moving firm is a very famous Israeli guy.
Are you ready for this? I don't know how many years ago, maybe it was 10 at this point. We go to Israel as part of a mission to do some shooting on what's happening in Israel and trying to understand more of what's going on, Palestinians, Israelis, and trying to do some documentary footage that we did, I don't know how many years ago it was. And on this trip, Angelica has some other friends. Some of those friends became our friends, some healthcare leaders, like Mike Marin up at Holy Name. They have become not only one of our underwriters, but people we've done some other work with them in Haiti because Holy Name helps build a hospital in Curémonos in Haiti.
Here
that conversation happened here.
Somebody was being interviewed here.
The point I'm making is it's her.
Some water initiative or something.
A water initiative with Suez, which is a water company in northern New Jersey because Haiti has a water problem and the 2 CEOs were talking, Mike Marin from Holy Name, and the point of this whole thing, and they helped build a water purification system in Haiti. What's the point here? We have to keep talking to each other.
And you don't get a commission.
No, listen, we get enough just by being here. So let's do this. The other thing that I've been thinking about is the pressures, and all candor, the pressures of running a nonprofit, the pressures of being the leader of an organization that doesn't simply have a good mission. I mean, we try to have a positive mission, running this not-for-profit production company. But in all seriousness, the Berrie Award made a difference. There's an economic benefit, but also the relationships you create. How much pressure is it every day to do what you do every day, to be the leader you have to be every day, not just with the vision, but the person who has to run it? And I don't mean to get, it's not negative, but I've been thinking about this a lot. Why am I getting these smiles?
Adam and I just had this conversation before we came on.
You mean it's not just me who thinks about this?
It's like we need to go out for drinks with other executive directors.
Commiserate.
And commiserate.
And what does the
Like,
conversation sound like?
it sounds like, well, when you're an executive director of a small nonprofit, you're the director, you're the fundraiser, you're the human resources department, you're the accountant, you're the program developer, you're liaisoning
How much
with
pressure?
partners. It's a lot of pressure. Yeah, and then the livelihood of all your staff is on your shoulders. So, you have to make your payroll. That's, I think, the most pressure.
Say that last part again?
You have to make your payroll.
And that's the thing that's so
Yeah.
interesting is while you have this vision, you're trying to be creative, you're trying to be open, you're trying to do all these things, but the day-to-day pressures, you're trying to deal with your own situations, right? Your families. But the day-to-day stuff is challenging.
People think a lot of times when you're just thinking about a nonprofit, they think it's just like this charity. But as they grow,
Or it's a hobby.
It's a hobby.
It's a
In your
business.
spare time.
It's a business. I mean, 501c3 is a tax designation. I mean, we're
it's a
building,
business.
We're building teams. We're creating impact. We're accountable to boards. We have to raise money. We have to hit goals.
And if you don't?
And if we don't exist, and we can't continue to do the good work that we do. And I mean, it's so it's so much of a relief to talk to others in that space, because you try to talk to your friends and family at times, and
They don't get it.
They're like,
they
what?
don't get it.
What? You mean people don't throw money at you because you do these great... Didn't you win that Berrie Award? You're good now, right?
It helped me in one situation.
But here's the thing, it does help.
It does help,
And it
yeah.
does, and you're there to leverage it, and that's part of the reason it's done.
Absolutely.
But Angelica, you know this, that you empathize with nonprofits and nonprofit leaders, don't you?
I totally understand them. I think that people do things out of the kindness of their heart, and then they have to carry the ball all the way to the finish line. It is a high percentage of them totally burn out. And I think learning self-care and self-compassion, I think, is one of the most important lessons.
And trying to find that balance between, dare I say, quote, taking care of oneself and managing everyone else. So let me ask you this. For the future, I mean, you're trying to make payroll, you're trying to do everything day to day, but how much do you think about the next, say, 2 to 3 years and what you would want to accomplish, not just with your nonprofit, but for the people you serve, to make the most impact, to make the biggest difference? Do you actually think about it, and what would that be if you could describe it? Jen?
To me, that's the most fun part about running an organization, is really visualizing how to leverage partnerships, how to take something to the next level, how to kind of go upstream a little bit. And we're a grassroots organization, so we're working very closely in the community. But how could we affect policy change or different things that would make
Policy change.
Yeah, like
Talk about that, because Angelica's going to jump in here.
she knows somebody that I need.
Well, because she thinks about public policy in a bigger way and scaling each one of the things you do, sometimes politically. Not partisan political, but just political big picture. What do you mean by policy?
Well, for example, with City Green, we have a very small farm. We're in an urban area, so our farm is 5 acres. And because we are 5 acres, we're allowed to accept WIC, which is for
Women, infant,
children.
and
It's,
children.
it's a food benefit. If you're smaller than 5 acres, you're not allowed to accept that in the state of New Jersey. And
That's policy.
Right, and urban farming is everywhere in New Jersey. It's in Newark, it's in Camden, it's in Jersey City. So, we want farmers to be able to accept food benefits because, people living, and there's a dense population of WIC moms living in cities, and they should be able to access that food.
Or is that federal policy would have to be changed?
It's state. It's a
State policy. So whoever becomes the new governor in January of 2018, that would make a difference. Angelica, go ahead. Say right now what you said in the first show. People may have missed it. You talked about stretching out of your comfort zone. Say it.
I think one of the greatest assets of this network is leadership, and leaders who are steeped in the problems of community, the issues that we face, the challenges. And I think that there's a greater opportunity here that I gave a personal challenge to all of you, and I say that you should consider running for office. As busy as you are, this is not a hobby, I understand, but I think that the best equipped political leaders at every level of the state and nationally and even locally in your own little town councils, you bring an understanding of the issues that perhaps the other politicians don't have.
Because if not, listen, I'm not here to... I served in the legislature for the short period of time at a very different time in my life. And I often think about this. If not leaders of nonprofits who are making a difference every day, there are other people who do great things. But often then who? Who really knows at the grassroots level the needs of people, particularly those who don't have a voice, who are suffering the most, who need the greatest? Does that mean anything to you?
Absolutely, because that's what I do. I'm the voice for those women.
Exactly.
Would you be open to that?
Absolutely.
But this is going beyond your
Absolutely,
comfort zone.
because in order to affect change at a high scale, policy needs to take effect.
Doesn't scare you? What about you?
I think policy is important, but I think for me anyway, I think there's so much red tape that I get frustrated. So what we've been trying to do with Move for Hunger, we've been trying to go around policy, and I think that we can actually...
Around policy?
I think we can create quicker change, sustainable change, by creating public awareness.
Really?
So for example, one of the things that we're doing right now is we're targeting all the Fortune 100 companies, and they hire big relocation firms to move all of their employees when they move. Well, I'm making them sign into their relocation policies If you're going to move,
What do you mean you're making them do it?
I'm
They're
asking,
left.
I'm asking them to.
You're encouraging
I'm
them.
encouraging them. Yeah, let's not say make. I'm encouraging them to think about the impact that they could have if they gave every one of their employees the opportunity to donate their food when they moved. We've gotten some major corporations already to commit to say that they're doing this. And what this is doing is forcing down the supply chain, the relocation management companies, the moving companies, and basically making it a policy. When we move, we're going to at least offer the service of donating our food when we move. My goal is to disappear. Some nonprofits need to be around for a long time. I'm fixing food waste within relocation. This is a solvable problem. If I can make this as common sense, as sustainable, and connect all these movers to food banks, you don't need me.
Why can't this guy run for office?
Exactly
You're
right.
so selfish. We want to be on your campaign.
We do, as running nonprofits, like to
listen.
make the change quickly.
But I think they need to go hand in hand.
I agree.
Exactly.
We'll talk.
Policy,
Action.
yes.
Why don't we
and
talk
policy.
off the air? You're extraordinary people. Thank you for bringing us together.
The preceding program has been a production of the Caucus Educational Corporation, celebrating over 25 years of broadcast excellence. Funding for this edition of Caucus New Jersey has been provided by RWJ Barnabas Health, the Fidelco Group, ADP, Adler Aphasia Center, the Northward Center, Georgian Court University, and by MD Advantage Insurance Company of New Jersey. Transportation provided by Airbrook Limousine, serving the metropolitan New York, New Jersey area. Caucus New Jersey has been produced in partnership with TriStar Studios.
Hi, I'm Eric. You might see me as an ordinary person, but I've been living with a brain injury for nearly 2 years. One of my struggles is short-term memory loss. At Opportunity Project, I'm given hope and support, and I've gained my comments back through the job placement program. Despite my challenges, I have a reason to keep improving. Today, even though life has changed me, I believe that anything is possible.
If you have a brain injury, you don't have to face your road to recovery alone.